Hello everyone, I'm back with another Geoguessr guide video, and this is about North America. So let's get started. Okay, so this is the country where you can use Google Card Meta in both ways. So you see, you have the four things coming out the side, and you have the two for front mirrors. That is a card of either Guatemala or Kyrgyzstan, and this is not Kyrgyzstan, so it's Guatemala. Right, so we're gonna go down here. There was one up there, because there are still mountains there, unfortunately. Okay, this one is official coverage. This is boat coverage in Greenland. Most of the Greenlandic coverage is a boat. So, yeah, Greenland's like my least favorite place to get normally, cause like you can have coverage like up here, over here, over here, especially a lot around Nuke that go like all the way upstream. There's too much random coverage. I'll find over here. Yeah, tell them by the way that everything was laid out. Okay, and this one is Greenland again, except we actually have a Google card this time. So it means that we'll be in a city, most likely Nuke. I just usually go Nuke anyways. And yeah, 5K that, surprisingly. Okay, this one where there's no Google card meta and nothing, so you actually gotta use your brain. So, it's Northern Hemisphere, of course, but you don't actually have to use too much brain power, because if it's North America, this country, you wouldn't really, because just by the vibe and the language, you see Spanish there. If you see Spanish in North America without a Google card, you're in Mexico, Puerto Rico, and it's not Puerto Rico, so we're in Mexico. The main thing with Mexico is identifying it from other Spanish countries like Ecuador, which it's just be less green. That's basically it. You'll see cactus, you'll see this like dry climate. You could see like mountains and a very lush vegetation in like the center and the Yucatan Peninsula. But there's very defining features about all of them, like the license plates, Google car. My biggest thing with Mexico is license plates, because if you see a license plate that's not just white, you're probably in Mexico. And in Mexico, a lot of the time you'll find poles that are in the shape of an octagon. You'll find octagonal ones. This one's not, but it's white panther at the bottom, which I've seen in Mexico sometimes. So yeah, we're in Mexico, and it's not mountainous, so it's probably not around here. So it's like around Mexico City, here, probably here. So it's just anywhere. Yeah, it was over there. Part that wasn't mountainous. Okay, this country you can also use Google Card Meta to see. You have the four side things, but you don't see the front mirrors, and it's also white. It's a white car as well, which means we're in the Dominican Republic, and the DR has basically only two areas with coverage: Santo Domingo and Santiago de los Caballeros. And the biggest way to differentiate them for me is if you see mountains to the north, you're in Santiago. That's just like a widely known thing that everyone uses. Okay, this one. So it feels pretty north. You have the singular yellow in USA, Canada. More likely Canada because of the coldness, the no mountains and everything. So in Canada. So where'd you go in Canada? Probably not BC. It's not mountainous. So probably more eastern. So I would maybe go like North Sask or like Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, and or even Ontario, just like around here. This should be better if there's more information. Probably gonna go to Newfoundland and just carry on. Otherwise, wow. Okay, another new one. See, it's speed limit, which means you're in the United States. And okay, this place is pretty fairly known. We're in the US, it's extremely flat, and with these type of trees. And also, there's no front plate. No front plate means that you're in basically these states. Maybe like Arizona as well. Just not really mountainous. Okay. It's the flat and the green to the point that it's just iconic. I don't know how to describe it, but you're in like the Florida peninsula, the Florida panhandle up here. I've also seen this in like this part of Louisiana, but mainly like this part of Florida. It just looks like this. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, this looks just like the Dominican Republic car, except the car is a black car, which means you're in Curacao, which is a Dutch overseas territory. Okay, new round, I think. Yeah, this is new. Okay, so right off the bat, you can see it's pretty green. You have the yellow line. It's in the northern hemisphere, of course. So this you would think of like, if you think of North America, you probably go like Mexico or something, because this round looks just like the pinnacle of like Latin America lushness, which is why it's in the dead center, Panama. It just has its own vibe that is like not as like green or too green for other countries, but the big theme for Panama is the go-kart. The countries that were covered recently, like Panama, Kazakhstan, Sao Tome, Qatar, even some new parts in Senegal, they're covered in a new truck, and you either see a massive truck in the front, or you have it blurred, a massive blur. So we'll be in Panama. Where did I send this? Maybe here or something? Okay, it was there. Okay, this one's pretty good. Okay. So, yeah. It's north, very north. You can tell by the trees, the landscape, and all that. Tell it's just like really north in like USA or Canada. Because Mexico, you also wouldn't see this big of mountains. Canada, you wouldn't see this big of mountains unless you're in British Columbia or Yukon, and definitely not British Columbia, because BC would be way more green. So we're in, if it's Canada, Yukon, US, Alaska, which is this is the pinnacle of an Alaska round. It'd be better if there was a plate to show, because Alaska has yellow plates. There's also a US flag and an Alaskan flag, so yeah, we're in Alaska. Alaskan coverage basically goes around here, down here, and up the Fairbanks, and then some parts down here in like Juneau area. So if you just follow like this road, not there, just follow this road and then come down here, and then up, that's basically the Alaskan coverage. Let me get the rest. Okay, here's a new one. So this one, wait, which one is this actually? Okay, I hope I'm getting this right. Okay, so you have this grainy this grainy road that is famously in Texas, although it's not always in Texas. You'll see it in like Turkey. But when you see grainy road, immediately think of Texas, but don't always go Texas because you don't really see mountains in Texas. But you do see grainy road in like the western states as well, like Idaho, Wyoming, Utah. You can see over here pretty commonly as well. And it has that like, it looks like it'd be like South Dakota, but there's plus mountains and everything's more yellow. And maybe some rocks on the side of the road. You'll be in this area of the US, the super west area. So if you have a plate, a bollard, or anything, you can narrow it down a lot better. But yeah, it'll be just one of these. Okay, another new round. And okay, I think I got it. So right side driving, which is all this, but it has the yellow road line, and it isn't like arid or dry or mountainous, so we'll probably be in USA, Canada again. You have the front plate, which means if you're in the US, you're in Texas or North State or a West State. And if you're in Canada, if you, okay, everywhere can have a front plate, but the states that cannot have a front plate, well, no, the states that always have to have a front plate are Ontario, Manitoba, British Columbia, and New Brunswick. So I would think of those provinces first. I may think of Ontario because it's just the most common to get coverage in. Okay, the red car, that's just the US Virgin Islands car. Okay, this is a good one. This is official coverage, and it's very snowy as you can tell, very flat. You'd think, okay, it's just Greenland. No, it's official coverage in Canada, and you're on a snowmobile. This is on this island, or some like surrounding parts in Quebec, like you might see it around there or something. But yeah, you're on this island. Wait, I thought it was the island. Is it this island? One of these islands, you'll see stuff there, and that's because it is the one with snowmobile coverage. So I'll just send it up here. Hope it's that one, and it is. Yeah, you can also see snowmobile coverage on like the edge of Quebec. Is there anyone where else haven't gotten? There is, but you have the Panamanian car, so, and it's more developed, so just go around Panama. Okay, a new one. That's good. Okay, so I don't know how to explain it, but it just looks like Canada. Of course, this type of vibe, you have English here. You'll see some right to driving eventually, but this is the US or Canada. You put it down to, and you would never see anywhere like this in the US unless it's like maybe Washington or some weird Alaska, but this is British Columbia most definitely, with these mountains. And British Columbia, if you know in Canada, if you see a front plate, it's one of the 3 states, BC, Manitoba, Ontario, maybe New Brunswick, that always use front plates. It has a plate that's pretty recognizable if you get to know it more. So yeah, where's in British Columbia? It could be Vancouver Island, could not be, but I'll send it because I know where it is, because I put it down. Okay, and his Guatemalan car, and so we're in Guatemala. And they also have a lot of bad camera there. Okay, you have the Dominican Republic car. You don't see mountains north, or you don't get the Santiago vibe. Go Santo Domingo. This location, you immediately see Spanish. Have kilometers, you have black bottom of the bollard, you're in Mexico. Yeah, this is a Mexican bollard, it's white with black at the bottom. And it's mountains, so you think of north, and it's these mountains are very unique. I don't know how to explain it, but just look at these mountains. I guess you can also look at the plants. These are Monterey mountains. They're just like, yeah, I don't know how to explain it. Okay, probably the last locations. Okay, so you're in the US. It just looks like the US. You have right to driving, you have short plates, US cars, but you have a yellow plate. Yellow plate you see in New Mexico, New York, and Alaska. It's not in you can tell it's not New Mexico or Alaska, so you're in New York. Okay, this is another location. So you have the Mexican bollard. You have, that's just a white plate, but it's a short plate nonetheless. Or Northern Hemisphere, right to driving, yellow line, Spanish. You're in Mexico. So where you Mexico? It's very lush, and lush I count as the south of the country. But you can also sometimes see some mountains there, or more sides. Yucatan also works, because honestly, this looks like Guatemala without the Google car. So, okay. Another location, you have once again the Mexican bollard, some sparsely placed mountains, and cactus. Cactus is a very big thing for Mexico because they have like infinite cactus, and since it's like a deserty, you're in you're in the north. Maybe even Baja California because the roads are easy to tell apart. Oh, this road looks like it lines up almost perfectly. Honestly, it might just line up, but it could be in like Chihuahua area, Sonora, Baja California. Yeah, and in Baja California, you can usually tell the road. Okay, this is not where I thought it was originally, I don't think. Huh? Okay, I mean, I'll stick with it. So, the road's not as grainy as it usually would be, but when you have super grainy roads, it just looks like how some people describe it as like salt and pepper type road. It doesn't look like it's made that well. And it's a common thing in Texas, a very common thing in Texas, what most pros use to differentiate Texas. And you have just the white plate with black here, and black here. Up there it says Texas. I'm just gonna let you know. So yeah, we're in Texas, and it's green, semi-hilly, probably more in the south. Well, goodbye. Hope you learned something about North America.